Girl boss, described in Urban Dictionary as a woman in control, taking charge of her own circumstances in work and life. Someone who knows her worth and won't accept anything less. When most people think of this term, they maybe think of something physical or aspire to get to this point, but don't necessarily know how. I'll let you in on a little secret. It all starts from within. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you all everything I know, at least so far, about radiating confidence, taking charge of your own destiny, and ultimately becoming a certified girl boss. So the first thing that I want to emphasize, it is the most important thing, is that comparison is the root of all evil. Last week I found myself in a rut and I was backtracking, trying to think, okay, like what caused me to be in this rut? And I came to the conclusion that I was comparing myself to other girls my age who were doing what I do but were more successful than I am right now. But then I realized that I had to embrace where I am right now, because chances are I won't be back in the same situation again. And I find that a lot, especially with girls my age, teens, young adolescents, if you will. We constantly compare ourselves, whether it's with how we look or what our grades are. My mom is the wisest woman I know, and this quote she said to me over the summer where I was in a kind of like a tough spot with comparing myself to other people, and I just have to share it with you guys because it's so perfect for this, like, everything. She said, "You are jealous of mediocrity. You are inspired by greatness." And just think about it. All of the girls that you're jealous of, or all the people that you're jealous of, they're not truly great. There's probably one thing that's maybe slightly good about them. But take, for instance, someone that you really look up to, like Beyonce, for example. You're not jealous of Beyonce. You are inspired by Beyonce because she's a freaking boss, makes a butt ton of money, and is dedicated to her craft. Instead, as a little segue into my next point, we should be lifting each other up. Mainly, it's a way of reframing how you think. So if you see a girl walking down the street and you're like, oh my god, I wish I had her style, change your way of thinking and go up to her and be like, oh my gosh, I love your style. Where do you shop? Where do you get your inspiration for your clothes? And maybe you might just make a new friend. Within the last year, I've been very mindful of that because I have a friend and she always compliments people. She's always like, oh my god, I love your sweater. Oh my gosh, I love your smile. And I'm like, wow, like that radiates such good energy, such good vibes. I want to do the same. So I started giving girls more compliments and giving people more compliments. And you'll be surprised at how much it makes someone's day and how much it really makes your day. So I watched this reel, it was probably in the beginning of the year, and this girl was giving like 5 things that she did to kind of like up her confidence, and one of the things was just dancing. She danced out in public, she danced while she was walking, and I just kind of started implementing that more into my life, and I feel so great doing it. I dance especially like on my way to school or on my way home from school, and it's just the perfect way to either start or end my day, and it really just gets me like good and like, you know, and it really helps to break down that mental wall or mental barrier that's like, oh, that's stupid, or oh, I wish I didn't do that, and you're less critical of yourself because you're like, man, I freaking dance in public, this is nothing. The next thing, hot girls read. I don't make up the rules. Anyone that I know that has a good personality, is very intellectually sound and very just brilliant and bright, reads. If you want to be a true girl boss and rule the world, read a book. And if it's something that you need to like change your mentality to do it. So be that mysterious girl in the park reading a book. And to really like level it up, read a book by a girl boss, a true girl boss. Don't just read a book by some Joe Schmo. Learn how they girl boss their way to the top. Currently, I am reading How to Be a Boss Bee by Christine Quinn. I really like this book. It's really easy to understand. She speaks in a language that resonates with me, and I just love everything that she does. I also read Becoming by Michelle Obama, which is her memoir. It's about like 400 pages long. It's a nice chunky read, but if you want to learn about a woman in power and how they became this great influential force, I think that this book is perfect for that. The next thing, learn from other girl bosses. Watch interviews of people that inspire you. I don't know about you, but whenever I find someone successful that I really resonate with, I kind of obsess over them. I research every little thing about them. I watch interviews about how they came to be. I read articles about them and really kind of learn how they just came to be who they are. I say all this to say, learn what you can, where you can. This next section, I literally called it Hocus Pocus. Get in touch with your spiritual side a little bit. One of the first self-help books that I read, she talks about really getting in touch with your spiritual side, like manifesting and meditation. And when she explains it, it sounds really simple because it really is that simple. In the mornings, if any of you guys have seen my morning routines, you would know that I meditate for 10 minutes every single morning. It helps me get into a nice headspace to start the day, and I honestly just can't live without it. My philosophy, or what I've read and what really resonates with me, is that when you're in touch with your inner being, you're also in touch with the universe. So when you're trying to attract or manifest good experiences or success into your life, it's kind of like a catalyst and makes things happen faster because you're more in touch with the spiritual realm and can kind of like channel certain things to come your way, if that makes sense. The next thing is to fake it till you make it. If you know you're not like the most confident person in the world, act like you're confident. Think about who you want to be and start acting like it. So think to yourself, okay, what does someone with $1 million look like? How do they dress? How do they walk? What do they do? What's their morning routine? What do they spend their time on? And start acting like someone with $1 million would act, or whatever your goal is. Another thing that really helps is affirmations. I talk about this all the time, but affirmations really do help, especially if you are someone who struggles with self-confidence. This is a great thing. Whenever you're washing your face, speak love into your face. Be like, I love how clear my skin is. I love how glorious my skin is. I love how bright and luminescent my skin is. When you're doing your hair, be like, I love how thick my hair is. I love how long my hair is. I love how voluminous my hair is. Do it for a month. Do it for 30 days. Just watch the results. A few years ago, a scientist named Dr. Emoto wanted to test if human thoughts and intentions could alter physical reality. To test this theory, he used only two things: rice and words. He had 2 jars of cooked rice and determined a fate for each of them. For the first rice plant, he labeled it good and spoke words of love to it. The other one he labeled bad and only spoke words of hatred and animosity towards it. He did this every day for 30 days and noticed a significant change between the jars of rice. The first one looked virtually untouched, while the other one had browned, rotted, and molded. I'm giving you the example of this experiment to show you that how you speak to yourself matters. So you should do everything in your power to only speak words of love to yourself. You are who you hang with. If you want to become successful, don't hang around with a bunch of freeloaders who are doing nothing with their lives. Hang around people who inspire you, who challenge you, who really want you to become the best version of yourself that you can be. My mom always coming through with the quotes. I believe she got this from a book. If you are the smartest person in your circle, then you are in a box. Next thing, feed your mind. Us as a generation, we spend so much time on TikTok, so much time watching TV, so much time on YouTube, and we could spend maybe like 30 minutes to an hour out of that day really dedicated to bettering ourselves. Listen to an audiobook, listen to a podcast, watch inspirational YouTube videos, watch motivational YouTube videos, and I swear sometimes it seems like, oh, all the inspirational content is boring, but once you find one, you will never want to go back. I have a couple of podcasts that are my favorite, my go-to in my rotation. I'll list them on the screen here. I also have a couple of books that I really recommend, especially if you are a first-time like self-help book type of girly. And I also have some YouTube channels that I really love. Don't self-deprecate. Self-deprecation, like if you really just look at it, self-deprecating humor is really awkward to witness. If someone's like, oh, I'm just so dumb, or oh, look at me being an idiot, it's uncomfortable for me to watch. True girl bosses, they know their worth, they know what they're made of, and they are 100% sure about themselves, so they don't have to make jokes just so that people feel easier around them in a room. Reframe your way of thinking, especially if you're someone that procrastinates and you're like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that. Think of everything as an opportunity. Be like, I get to work out because I have working arms and legs. I get to eat healthy because I have access to good food. I get to do homework because you know what? In some places, girls can't even go to school. I read this quote a few weeks ago that said being indecisive is a sign of distrust towards yourself. Learn to trust yourself and the decisions will follow. I really resonated with that and am now trying to be more conscious of the moments I have like that. Whenever I'm facing a tough decision, I say to myself, I trust that I will make the right choice and I choose whatever feels best. The next thing, which is the thing that all girl bosses do, is that they don't live a life in fear. A life lived in fear is a life full of regret. If you're scared of looking stupid, that's more reason to do that thing. If for any reason you're not doing something but you want to do it, think about why you're not doing it. Is it because it's not the right time right now, or is it because you're scared of what might happen? And just see how that works out for you. So that is it for this week's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully out of everything I said, you took at least one thing with you that you can implement into your regular everyday life. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. And of course, in case no one has told you yet, you are special, you are worthy, and you are enough. I love you. Hugs. On recording, be like, oh my gosh, I get to do this. I get to work out in the morning because you know what? There's a population of people out there that are quadriplegics, or wait, stop. Oh no, that's terrible. First things first, Comparison is the
Here's
root.
what I found.
Stop! Like, okay, is this angle good? I don't want to film a whole video on an angle that I don't like, but...